we have everyone to join us in the pledge of allegiance?
That's what's got.
Ms. Lewis, in the back, will let you lead us, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Praise God. Mr. B. Thank everybody for coming out this Wednesday evening. We're going to start by approving the minutes of the July 15th regional meeting and the July 16th regular meeting. Let's go ahead and motion. Second. Mr. Cowsey made the motion, Mr. Wilkerson seconded. Is that an all yes vote? Yes. All yes. Okay. Do we have anyone signed in yet? No, sir. Okay, then we're going to go to Harsh Community Group. Do we have anybody there that fit that category?
Two of us showed up.
Yes.
Good evening. Thank you very much for letting us come up and address the board. My name is Rick Helton and Stephanie Lucas. We're board members on the Hearts Community Center, and we want to thank you for your support in allowing us to take over the old Hearts High School as the new Hearts Community Center. We've got a big job ahead of us, a lot of work to do, and but we're raring to go. We've done a lot of work already to try to get the school cleaned up. We've got most of the main floor cleaned up where we can start maybe having some businesses move in here fairly shortly. We're going to have our first board meeting there. What date was that?
This Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday at 7 o'clock in the old school cafeteria. That's where we're going to have our business meetings at. Enjoy if anybody would like to come down. We'd love to have you there to see what we're doing and trying to do to the school. And we look forward to working with the school board on making sure that the kids in the schools have their opportunity to have that play the ball field and the gymnasium fit for their use and for the community to use it. Hopefully, when it's not being used by the school, we thank you for that opportunity to do that. And we'll take very good care of it to the best of our ability. And if there's anything we can ever do to help you or any questions that you might have for us, we'd be glad to offer those, any kind of answers we have for you. I mean, we also have a Facebook page, Hearts Community Center, so if you'd like to go on there and see what's going on there, as with any type of Facebook page or any other type of website, it's it's got the good and the bad on it. But we're trying to answer the questions straight up and formally and to the best to our ability to do so, and for fairness for everyone in our community. But again, thank you very much for letting us come up here and personally thank you for that building.
And your last name is Hilton?
Helton, H-E-L-T-O-N.
Okay. That's what I thought. Sure.
I married a Harts Creeker about 12 years ago.
Well,
They're good people.
They are good people. They are good people.
she's not biased.
I'm from South Carolina originally, but I loved it up here. This is where I used to come for vacations up here in the Mountain State, and love it up here, and I'm very happy here and glad to be part of the community and part of Lincoln County.
We're
Thank you very
glad
much.
to have you, and not only at our meeting this evening, but having come to our county and make your residence here.
Very much. Very proud to be here.
Your comments about, our desire is to work cooperatively with your group in Hearts. We feel like that everything that you all are doing just complements what we do, and there are times that we can be helpful to your organization and the people in the community, and at the same time, there are a lot that you can do as a group to help us, because we're all in it for the same thing, for the betterment of our kids in the area and for the community, whatever activities you may have. I talked to Mr. Farley here a couple of days ago, and he talked about that somebody would be here. He didn't know if he'd be able to come or not, but he sent you in as his representative or the group head. Now, I understand this is the first time that you'll have a meeting in this building?
In the old high school, yes. We've been currently having the meetings in the Ferrellsburg Community Center in one of the rooms. Last night was our last. We hope to be our last meeting there, but we're going to try to start transitioning over and making sure that we get out of your building as soon as we can. I guess since you guys have deeded back to you, But we ask for your patience, because it is a big job for us to get everything ready to go so that we can put our best foot forward when we do open up. We'd like to have a grand opening at some point in time, which we'd love to have some kind of cooperation with you or presence with the school board. The Harts Fire Department has expressed an interest to try to help put something on with the community center also, to try to make it a big event to open that building up. But, kind of as a status report, also, we've just recently, this last week, we've changed out all the locks in the building, which was quite a little bit of a check to write, but we got that done.
But
So
it needed one.
we needed the check and we needed the keys. Yes, we did. So we've kind of taken back the control of the doors and such, and we're making sure that the school board and the coaches that are working with the schools have keys, so they have access to the gymnasium and the athletic fields. We're in the process. We got separate keys, just so for your information. Have separate keys for the locker rooms, so that no one else has the keys but the school board for that, and our board, of course, in case we have a leak in the plumbing or something, we need to get in there to do something. But that's going to be completely shut off from everybody except for the coaches and actually the board. So those were done. It took us 2 days, 2 full days to get all the keys done in there, and we got a long way to go. Now, I would ask for one favor, if there's a way, if you know of someone in the county, the library there is in pretty bad shape. I think, Mr. Priestley, you Mr. Curry, you toured it here a week or so ago. The library's in pretty bad shape, and I'm not a librarian. I don't think we don't have to get on our board, it is. But if there's someone in the community that you know of that would like to try to help us sort out what we need to do to stand that library back up, there's a lot of good books in there. We'd hate to lose that for the community to have a place for the kids to come and check out books, or adults, or anybody else to have. So if there's anyone that you know of that might want to be on a committee to help us get the library stood back up and running in some decent manner, we certainly would appreciate any referrals that you would have. We would certainly consider and take them.
We'll certainly do that among us, and then I'm sure that the newspaper will probably have make note of that too, so maybe somebody will pick up on that too. But between us all, we can probably come up with some people that involved in there could be helpful. But, if you'll maybe share eventually when you decide on your opening, and let us know, and then, because I'm sure that several, some of us may want to attend that.
We'd love to have you there. What we're waiting on now and trying to put a date down is we want to make sure that we pick a date that we could use maybe use also the ball field. I don't know if you've ever been down to one of the, I happen to be on the fire department also there in Harts. We have an open house, a fire prevention week or a month that we sponsor, where we bring out all these air jumping machines. That's what they're called. The locals call them. They're jumpies. The bouncy houses and all those types of things, the slides and such. Where the fire department is, as you know, is very close to Route 10. And so what the fire department's been thinking, in concert with maybe working with the community center, if we could get the field for that day, to put those things out there in the field and have a big open house out there in that ball field where the kids are not next to the highway. And so we could have maybe a pretty large open house. But we're waiting on the date for the schools, the middle schools' homecoming day. We'd like to have that on Saturday, and I think they usually have those on Saturdays. So we don't want to conflict with that. So as soon as we know what the homecoming date is at, we'll probably come to you and ask for permission to use that field that day as a joint effort and try to have an open house there.
Yes, that'd be fun. All that you all need to do is just see Mrs. Dingus, the principal of the school. The principal, they have the authority, and they're the ones that there'll be a form that you'll have to complete, but she has the authority to grant you the use of that, just like all of our principals.
All right.
So that, I wouldn't see that would be a problem at all.
Well, thank you very much. We do appreciate it.
I think that'd just be, we don't want to bounce them out on Route 10 or anything.
No, we don't. We'll take it down there and inflate it down there, but we have a fairly good turnout. Speaking as one part of the fire department, we have a very big turnout, and we'd like to do that more in a safe environment, and maybe include it with the Arts Community Center to make it a big event for the community.
Great, great.
And we will make sure that you know about it, so we'd love to have you attend if you can.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Ms. Lucas, anything you'd like to say or anything?
No,
Mr. Travelling?
yeah, he did a good job.
Any members of the board?
Yeah, Stephanie, did you go to Hearts?
No, I went to Hamlin.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you touch in Hearts, huh?
Yeah, I think
I
you
knew I
called me.
recognized you. That's been a long, several
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, I've been out of school almost 10 years now, so been a while.
We do have one thing that we're eventually going to have to talk about. I know when Fred and I were up there, there was the idea of, the deputy that was, I guess
Yes,
the
sir.
idea was to be housed over top of the annex building. Mr. Smith, or Dana Smith, he's our maintenance director, and he reported to us at our last meeting that the cost of that, the steps that went up there was going to be, what, $15,000?
I haven't gotten a price. The contractor that's gonna give me a price is gonna look at it in the morning.
Okay.
If we're still gonna look at that. He didn't wanna give me a price until he actually saw it. And we were talking about with the length, with the height of those steps, we're gonna have to have a mid-landing, and it doesn't have one on it right now.
Are we talking about in the front or around back? Which
I'm talking about the front.
The front set, it doesn't have a landing
It
now, right?
doesn't have a mid-landing. It's got a landing up there where it goes into the classrooms, or
Right.
what used to be classrooms. But it doesn't have a mid-landing, and it's like 15 feet in height. And I believe we're gonna have a mid-landing to break that up. There's too many steps and too long steps not to have one.
Is it required that there be two?
I believe OSHA's gonna require that.
That'd be a OSHA code, a code
Yes.
that require that. We have, if I may,
Yes, go ahead.
one of our discussions last night was about that, and we also have a local person, I don't know the name right off the bat, that has said that they would look at it to also build that, and that they may not just charge us for the price of the, materials to get it done, and I don't know if that's something that you would be.
Well, that's what Hassan mentioned that to me, that there was somebody that could fabricate that at a, much, lower price, and that's why we may have to try to, if you seen that we could get that name or somebody to Dana, so that maybe he could go up there and meet with them and look at that
Right,
possibility.
So you'll be our point of contact to make sure everything gets taken care of properly.
That would be fine.
And any type of plumbing issues or things of that nature, we've got, one of our board members is a very well-known in our area handyman, and he rebuilds homes and things of that nature, and he's already said that if we need to do plumbing or any kind of things to get it set up right, that, we could get it done at fairly cheaply. But done well, but as cheap a price as we can get it done, but that may be something that you also may want to.
But we do
To
have,
enter on.
we do have an OSHA inspector that's getting quite active in the county, so we are gonna have to meet that
Well,
requirement.
my former job is a federal inspector, so I understand how the codes go, so.
Well, we understand there's a purpose to those, and we have to abide by them. But I know, that Dana had mentioned to us at that one meeting, when we first started talking about this, that inside the school, there was an old, I guess, the home ec room, whatever, maybe the
Yes.
possibility of the deputy living there. Then when I'm talking to Haas, he's telling me that it's not just the deputy, he's married, there's 2 kids, I believe, involved, so it's a family of 4. And I guess, the atmosphere in there might not be what one would be conducive.
Well,
to
that room, as you know, I think when you took the tour, it may have been pointed out to you, that room took a little bit of, it was in the back side of the school, so it was messed up fairly well, but we cleaned it up and stripped the floors, still needs more stripping to be done. But that room is just basically a home ec room with a small kitchen and a small bathroom. It does have all the facilities, but for a single man, it might be a good place.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
But
The other thing, of course, being perched up over the top of the annex there, you could see all over the field and see much better opposed to being inside the building.
Yes, sir.
But that's something that we're going to have to look at the cost of that. Because when Dana first told us, $15,000 just for those steps, that caught our attention. But if there's a way that we can do that with the help of maybe some people in the community and do that in another fashion, that'd be great.
yes.
Something to keep in mind when they're doing renovations, is a lot of the pipe installation in the old school as
Asbestos in it.
insulation. The ceilings, for example, in that special ed classroom is asbestos acoustical ceiling.
And which room is that?
That's the special ed, what used to be the special ed room, that has the kitchen and the bathroom.
Oh, okay, okay.
That room, the classrooms upstairs, with the exception of one of them, we removed the asbestos out of one classroom. Across the hall in what used to be like a pop room where they'd sell pop, or, well, not in pop anymore, but there was water here lately.
That one little smaller room as you come up the steps
Yes,
there?
that's, there's several rooms down there that have that. The newer sections don't. The old part, original part of the school is. So just keep that in mind.
Before we start.
You don't want to disturb for that.
Yeah, we
Well,
don't want
that'd
to
be
disturb
something,
that.
Dana would be available to come up and help them.
Yeah, I can come out and show you
That would be,
exactly what it's
that'd be a big help, because we certainly don't want to stir up an asbestos nest, so to speak.
As long as it's not friable, you're okay. You probably already know.
One other issue, if I may, I just tweaked something in my mind. There's a diesel tank there for, I guess, for your bus driver, for your buses to refuel from. I understand, I don't know what agreements have been made or whatever, I'm just asking. It's been told to me that that was supposed to be removed from that area. It's a huge concrete diesel tank and pumping unit there. Is that something that's on y'all's radar?
I know that the transportation director has put a new tank on site at the new school, and his intent is to eventually utilize that tank as a diesel tank versus the one
At
at.
where it sits right now?
Yes, but there's not, to my knowledge, there's not been any plans to move it.
Okay.
So,
We wouldn't be using it anymore,
we
right?
wouldn't be using it anymore. I don't know if the community would want to do something with the fire department, maybe. Perhaps you could put, I mean,
Well,
they probably use
if
diesel
the
fuel.
gauge is right, it's either, I don't know, and couldn't see, I didn't have my glasses that day when I looked at it, when I crawled up on top of it. But if the gauge is right, it's either got 240 gallons or 2,400 gallons of diesel in it.
They probably filled it up so it wouldn't rust and things. They usually fill them up in the summertime. So it probably is full, but he is gonna make a transition. I just don't know when that
I
transition.
knew we were going to convert them.
So as far as you know, there's no plans to remove that from the property at all?
No, and if it would be something that the fire department would want to use or something, then that would be available.
Once it was empty.
Yeah, after we get our fuel out.
Well, I was gonna say,
They wanna get our fuel out.
after it's now on the video here, it may be empty very soon. But we're gonna try to stop that from happening. Okay, so it would be our expense to remove that from, the reason we were asking that question is because, and it was brought to my attention, that our custodian is going to actually live on grounds also. We're going to move a trailer there.
Right, yes.
And that was part of where his home was going to be, and we're waiting on that to be moved. The cost, Mr. Farley said that was supposed to be moved, and that the trailer would be moved in that site, part of that space where that tank is would be part of where this gentleman's home would be. So it's not the board's desire to move that, other than just to.
Well, I
Leave it
really
there.
can't, I don't know for certain, obviously, until, until we move down to the new school, then at that point, we'll have to make a decision. But we haven't really discussed that before. Does anybody?
Well, do we actually own those tanks, or the fuel company owns them?
We own. I bought
Oh, is that
them with
right?
SBA money, actually, years ago.
There might be a, market for those somewhere too, so, but we'll look at
It could
it.
probably be sold.
Yeah, we can drop it
It
off.
still has the pump on it, and the electrical
It's a
box.
concrete vault. It's a nice.
It's a huge tank.
It was just had some age on it, and Rodney decided that, versus moving it to the new site, his preference was to get a new tank.
We may, if we get closer.
Could you check with Rod and see if we can't speed it up, getting the buses filled up down in the school?
Yes, and I can't recall what the Honda was.
Well, like they told us up first, Steve, it was some kind of a monitor or something that wasn't.
Yeah, there is some electronic,
It's internet related.
it's internet related, and to my knowledge, that hasn't been done by the installer yet. But I don't know if there's a date set for that. Rod's been gone for the last week and a half, I haven't talked to him about it, so.
Ms. Lucas will look into that, but our goal will be to eventually try to get that out of there, because I think there, you know, if we could auction it off or something, there's bound to be somebody who might want that. We'll try to do our best to get that done once we.
I'd say that's probably worth a little bit of money to the school board rather than, looks in pretty good shape.
You know, like I said, probably a person that might want it would be the fire department. They may want to store their own fuel and save some money.
I haven't thought about that, but that's,
fuel,
now that you mentioned, I'll take it back. We have our board meeting on Monday night, so I'll bring that up, and if there's any interest in doing that, we'll get back with the board and maybe we can work something out there, but thank you very much for your time and your support.
We appreciate y'all coming down,
Thank you,
and
sir.
looking forward to working with y'all.
Me too.
Thanks.